How does a computer work? IPO cycle explained with real-life examples. Hello, everyone. Have you ever thought about how a computer knows exactly what you want? Whether you're watching YouTube, playing games, typing a document, or searching on Google, every computer follows the same simple process called the IPO cycle. IPO stands for input, process, and output. These are the three basic steps that every computer performs to complete any task. Let's understand each step one by one with real-life examples. Step 1. Input. Entering data. The first step is input. Input means giving data or instructions to the computer. A computer cannot think or decide on its own. It only works when we provide it with information. To enter data, we use input devices, such as keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, webcam, touchscreen. Example 1. Typing a letter. Imagine you're writing a school assignment in Microsoft Word. When you press the keys HELL on the keyboard, those letters become the computer's input. The keyboard sends your instructions to the computer. Example 2. Voice search. When you say open YouTube into your phone or computer microphone, your voice becomes the input. The computer receives your voice as data, so remember, whatever information we give to the computer is called input. Step 2. Process. Processing data. Now comes the second step, processing. After receiving the input, the computer starts thinking, but not like humans. The CPU, Central Processing Unit, also known as the brain of the computer, follows the instructions stored in software and processes the data. It performs calculations, comparisons, and logical decisions in just a fraction of a second. Example 1. Calculator. Suppose you type 25 plus 15. The keyboard sends the numbers as input. The CPU calculates 25 plus 15 equals 40. This calculation is called processing. Example 2. Google search. You type best places to visit in Pakistan. The computer sends your request over the internet, searches millions of web pages, finds most relevant information, and organizes the results. All this happens during the processing stage. Example 3. Face unlock. When you unlock your phone using your face, the camera captures your image. The processor compares your face with the saved face data. If both match, the phone unlocks. This comparison is also processing. Step 3. Output, giving results. The last step is output. After processing, the computer presents the result to us. Output devices include monitor, printer, speakers, projector. Example 1. Calculator result. You entered 25 plus 15. After processing, the monitor displays 40. This displayed answer is the output. Example 2. Music. You click the play button on a song. The computer processes the audio file, then the speakers produce the sound. The music you hear is the output. Example 3. Printing. You prepare a document and click print. The printer prints the document on paper. The printed page is also an output. A complete real-life example. Ordering food online. Let's understand the IPO cycle using a food delivery app. Input. You open the app and select pizza, cold drink, your delivery address. This information is the input. Process. The computer processes your request by checking nearby restaurants, calculating the total bill, confirming payment, finding a delivery rider. All these actions happen in the processing stage. Output. Finally, the app shows order confirmed, estimated delivery time, rider's location. Later, your food arrives at your doorstep. This is the output. Another simple example, ATM machine. Think about using an ATM. Input. Insert your ATM card, enter your PIN, and type the amount you want. Process. The ATM checks your PIN, verifies your account balance, and confirms that enough money is available. Output. The ATM dispenses cash, prints a receipt, and shows your remaining balance on the screen. This is another perfect example of the IPO cycle. Why is the IPO cycle important? Every digital device uses this cycle, whether you use a computer, a smartphone, a smart TV, a calculator, an ATM, a gaming console. They all work in the same way: input, process, output. Without input, the computer has no information. Without processing, it cannot understand or work on the information. Without output, you cannot see or hear the result. So, every time you use a computer, remember these 3 simple steps. Input. You give data or instructions. Process. The CPU processes the data according to the instructions. Output. The computer shows the final result. This simple IPO cycle is the basic working principle behind every computer, smartphone, and smart device we use every day. Hack important questions with answers. 1. What is the IPO cycle? Answer. IPO cycle is the basic working process of a computer. IPO stands for input, process, and output. First, data is entered into the computer, then it is processed, and finally the result is produced as output. Input, process, output. What is input? Answer. Input is the data or instructions given to a computer for processing. We use input devices such as a keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, and touchscreen to enter data. Example, typing 25 plus 15 using a keyboard is an input. 3. What is processing? Answer. Processing is the stage in which the computer works on the input data according to given instructions to produce a meaningful result. The CPU performs most of the processing. Example, the CPU calculates 25 plus 15 equals 40. 4. What is output? Answer. Output is the result produced by a computer after processing the input data. Output can be displayed, printed, or played through output devices. Example, when the monitor displays 40 after calculating 25 plus 15, 40 is the output. 5. What is an input device? Answer. An input device is a hardware device used to enter data and instructions into a computer. Examples, keyboard, mouse, microphone, scanner, and webcam. 6. What is an output device? Answer. An output device is a hardware device used to present the results produced by a computer. Examples, monitor, printer, speakers, projector. 7. What is the CPU? Answer. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. It is the main processing unit of a computer and performs instructions and calculations. It is often called the brain of the computer. 8. Give an example of the IPO cycle using a calculator. Answer. Input. Enter 25 plus 15. Process. The CPU calculates the numbers. Output. The calculator displays 40. Therefore, 25 plus 15, processing 40. 9. Give an example of the IPO cycle when playing music. Answer. Input, click the play button. Process. The computer processes the selected audio file. Output. The speakers or headphones produce the sound. 10. Give an example of the IPO cycle when using an ATM. Answer. Input. Insert the card, enter the PIN, and enter the amount. Process. The ATM verifies the PIN, checks the account, and processes the transaction. Output. The ATM gives cash and/or displays the transaction result. Conceptual questions with answers. 11. Why is input necessary for a computer? Answer. Input is necessary because the computer needs data or instructions to perform a task. Without input, the computer would not know what task to perform. 12. Why is processing important in a computer? Answer. Processing is important because it converts input data into useful information. The computer performs calculations, comparisons, and other operations during processing. 13. Can a computer produce output without input? Answer. Generally, a computer needs some form of input or previously stored data instructions to produce meaningful output. The input tells the computer what task to perform. 15. Why is the CPU called the brain of the computer? Answer. The CPU is called the brain of the computer because it executes instructions, performs calculations, processes data, and controls many computer operations. 16. Is a touchscreen an input device or an output device? Answer. A touchscreen can be both an input and an output device. It displays information, so it works as an output device. We can touch it to enter commands, so it also works as an input device. 18. How does the IPO cycle work when searching on Google? Answer. Input. You type your search query. Process. The computer and search system process your request and find relevant information. Output. Search results are displayed on the screen. A computer receives incorrect input. Can it produce an incorrect result? Answer: yes. A computer generally follows the instructions and processes the data it receives. If the input is incorrect, the resulting output may also be incorrect. This is often summarized as garbage in, garbage out. Why is the IPO cycle called a cycle? Answer: it is called a cycle because computer tasks can involve repeated input, processing, and output. After one result is produced, the user can provide new input and the process starts again. Thank you for watching. If you found this explanation helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more easy computer lessons.